Hello, everybody. Welcome again. My name is Ivor Chester, ivorchester.com, the Balance Coach. Glad to see you. We continue our talks today. We're going to be talking about the timid life. There was a big song back in the 80s. Those of us old enough to remember know it by a woman named Sheila E. She was kind of a Prince thing. Nevertheless, she had a song called The Glamorous Life, and she said it ain't much. Well, so is the timid life. So people look at the glamorous life and they think it's all just fun and parties and everything. And she says, well, it really ain't much. Well, neither is the timid life. But there is something in between that we're going to be talking about as well. So let's go ahead and make sure we understand our definition of what the timid life is. The timid life is somebody who is passive. The timid life is somebody who's not speaking up or not assertive about what they want in life, what they believe they can do in life, what they can get in life. And again, I'm not talking about somebody who's aggressive, somebody who's real loud, somebody who's just a bully. Who I'm talking about is, hey Beth, good to see you, a person who is not living the timid life, somebody who is assertive, is again speaking up for themselves in a loving way. They respect others, they respect themselves. So you're not being timid. If you're having your basic needs and wants met. Now, depression, addiction issues, diagnoses like that often keep you passive and keep you timid, keep you from really reaching out to help you from being what you really ought to be. You know what? You have a whole lot in life. Yes, you do. You have a walk that only you have walked. And yes, lots of people have spoken about, I don't know, about addictions or about depression, or about what you've gone through, but they've never spoken about it in your particular way. What's it like with marriage? What's it like with a couple of kids? What's it like when you're wealthy and you lose it all? What's it like when you have nothing and start to gain it? These particular walks, you're not really walking them alone, though you're walking them a bit individually. It doesn't mean there's nobody else. People who want to know how to successfully do this, or at least get out it. Remember, a real leader is somebody who has done something and then gone back and gotten others. They're people who actually help other people by first getting themselves dirty. Real leaders are servants. So you can be a leader regardless of the fact that you're just a everyday schmuck just doing your 95. And a real bit of self-analysis of when you sit alone by yourself and look at the stars, watch the moon. Had a beautiful moon out the past couple of nights. When you have those moments of self-thought, start to realize there are things that are missing. And not you're being greedy, not you're being needy. But what you are is you realize there are components in life that are missing that you can get. You can get these things. You can obtain these things by not being timid. Speak up for yourself. That's really how you do this. One, realize that you have worth. Sound familiar? Yeah, it does. You have worth, so you're acting like it. You're loved by God, probably by a whole lot of people you know. And that shut-in mentality is keeping you from understanding that you're loved. You're loved. Start acting like it. Also, make sure you understand that you're forgiven. So therefore, when you are forgiven, you're no longer tied to your past. You are enabled for your future. So you're no longer having to cling on to all the disasters that you so believe that you've done. And you get to move forward. As, again, Dr. Gillum says, and I say this over and over again because it's a beautiful phrase, people who are locked into their past walk backwards into their future, or just back into their future. That's not good. They prepare for it. So being assertive means you step up. And you're not bossy about it, but you believe, I can do this, I can get this, I can become this, I can say this, I have enough. And you go forward and do those things. It's also a bit like the illustration of the potter's wheel. Understand that when you create something with pottery on a wheel, they'll have most of the clay already there on the wheel. And they begin to spin it. And all they do is shape it. Now, yeah, they'll add slick and they'll add other parts to it as they go along. But the majority of what they are going to do with whatever they're going to create is right there on the wheel at the beginning. You've got that. You've got enough. You need to start using that, shaping that. Is it a painful process? It's painful to live a life. It's painful to live a life knowing that you don't have what you really can get, what you really can do. When I talk about what you can get, I'm not really talking necessarily about money. I'm talking about being able to look into the eyes of your loved one and say, I love you. Because it just doesn't need to be said, or they wouldn't believe me, or I'm not enough, or I shouldn't have kids, or I shouldn't go help somebody because I really don't have all the parts. You don't need all the parts. You've got the parts that you need as you have them. So don't go forward thinking, or excuse me, don't hold yourself back from going forward because of a lack of belief. You're going to be fine, folks. You're going to be just fine. Don't be timid. Live a big life. Live a bold life. Go out there and make your mistakes, make a mess. Try not to hurt yourself, but don't worry about skinning up your knees. Try not to hurt anybody else. And just go forward boldly. If you have some questions about that, then contact me. You can leave comments in the page below. And, of course, you can contact me at my webpage at ivorchester.com. I'm on Instagram and Twitter and all these other places. Your action today is what little thing can you do? This doesn't have to be a huge earth-shaking moment, though that will happen over time in little bits. How you eat the elephant, one bite at a time. So how are you going to do this? Today you're going to look into somebody's eye and tell them how you feel. Lovingly. You're going to tell them that you love them. You're going to tell them that you need them. You're going to tell them that how you feel about them. You're going to tell them to back off. You're going to tell them that you're able. You're going to give them some assurance of your completeness so that you can, with confidence, move forward. And you know what? They're going to respect you. They are. And if they don't, then guess what? You just found out who your friends are. My name is Ivor Chester. I appreciate your time. I will see you tomorrow. Until then, God bless.